Tommy pack that rust red rag.
It's not what we wanted to do,
Chasing
okay?
sun, chasing California in his mind. Pulled off early exit sign, said Chicago. Thought it was a pause, not a life he borrowed. Met JP on a random block. Same eyes, same scars, same shock talk. Blood that he been missing for years. Two grown men leaking boy-sized tears. Was it a mistake to stop in Chicago? Or did the city show him what he had?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl Tika the Shun here, and we are going to just send a little bit up for our Power Force 4Gs that we lost throughout these last 3 seasons. As you guys know, Power Book 4 Force is coming to an end. And so, we can't just let it go out. We got to let it go out with love, okay? Because I myself have been watching this show literally since it started. Now, I was supposed to invite some folks to come through, but because I ran behind, I didn't get the opportunity to send that live out or that link out. So it's just gonna be me up here. I hate doing last minute stuff to other people, so I'm just gonna go through, some of the cast or some of the characters from Power Book 4 Force. And someone was telling me, I think DeMarcus was telling me that there were some new clips out there about with Kate Egan speaking and all of those things. I don't have any spoilers, just reflecting on the characters that once were. But with that, um whatever we will see the trailer that's supposed to be leading us into the next episode. I think I got that for you guys. But other than that, y'all, it's Force. It's literally Power Book 4 Force. And all good things must come to an end. For me, I'm probably one of the few that actually love the show. Like, I really enjoy watching Joseph Sikora do all of the things that he did and in the Power Book Force 4 world. So, I'm here for all the shenanigans. And, thank y'all for tuning in, tapping in. Let me know how you guys are feeling about Power Book 4 Force, how you're feeling about, the show coming to an end. Who were some of your favorite characters throughout the season? A lot of the characters that are up here, y'all, some of y'all love them and some of y'all hate them, but I gotta show love and respect to all of the majority of the characters that unfortunately met their maker and had to literally rest in power. So with that, we're gonna start this thing off with FBI agent Edgar Vargas. Unfortunately, Vargas was taken out by Tommy. He and Victor Flynn were working together to try to take down Tommy. Of course, this was that moment where Vic had to play it off as if he had no idea that this man was, an FBI agent. And, so Tommy was like, okay, since he's an agent, I'm gonna take him out. And Tommy sent Agent Vargas on up there he sent it to the upper room, and so RIP, RIP to Agent RIP to Agent Vargas, y'all. RIP to Agent Vargas. So many characters, y'all. So many characters. So with that being said, man, we gotta say rest in peace to Gloria. Like, Gloria, she wasn't bothering nobody. She was minding her business. She didn't mind having whatever it was she had going on with Tommy. And they had that little thing, and then of course she still loved Vic, so she didn't really she didn't know, what to really do. She was trying to move on from Vic, but Vic kept coming back and enticing her and showing her that he can love her the way she needs to be loved, and they were literally ready to leave. And unfortunately, Vic's daddy ended up, getting her unalive. Like that was dirty. So, you know, RIP once again, RIP. Okay, to our girl Gloria. Rest in peace, Gloria. She was only there for the first season of Power Book 4 Force, and she lasted as long as they would allow her to last, you know what I mean? But again, I thought she was gonna be that one for Tommy. However, it wasn't in the cards for him to be with her. Clearly, they wanted him with Maria. And so, that's who she ends up being with, or he ends up being with later on down the line. But Walter Flynn was dirty for setting her up, setting his own son and Gloria up to be taken up out of there, y'all. So, RIP once again, RIP to Gloria, okay? And again, thank y'all for coming through. Shout out to Miriam Egan, okay? Rest in peace, Grandma Egan, okay? Because we never knew her until she was at that nursing home, and the only thing that she could say was Tommy, like Tommy. And then she blanked out. Then it was a wrap. And then a few days later, she was gone to the upper room. Nobody took her. Christmas wasn't canceled on her. She just, died natural causes. It was, she was already slipping away. And so, she ended up passing away. So rest in peace, Miriam Egan. Okay. And then we got Liliana. Like, how can we not forget Liliana? Um, Tommy, she was Tommy's associate in New York. Then she became Tommy's enemy. Then she thought that he was coming to track her down in Chicago, when in actuality, he just happened to end up in Chicago. And unfortunately, Claudia ends up taking out Liliana. Now, Tommy and Liliana, they became really close in Chicago. She was somebody that he could actually trust um enough to work the business, because at first they were literally trying to take each other out, but then they was like, hey, we got something in common. What we gonna do? You gonna work? We gonna work together, or we gonna separate? Or are we gonna unalive each other? And so they ended up, working together. And so I was here for it. Hey, Tamika, thank you for tapping in. Happy birthday again. I know it's a day or two afterwards, but happy birthday again. And y'all do exactly what Tamika said. Hit that like, turn on the notifications, and subscribe to the channel, All Things Ruthless. Hey, thank you, Tamika. Yeah, Liliana was my girl too. She was literally a hardcore rider. When those guys they were shaking her down about their drugs, and Tommy had already taken their drugs from her, but she never gave him up. She never sold him out. She never said anything. She never told them that Tommy Egan has has y'all drugs. And even when Merkovich and his little crew, the Serbians, when they snatched her up, she was ride or die. She was die hard. She was not, turning against Tommy. So again, R.I.P. Liliana, man. We need a Liliana in our life, somebody that's gonna have our back. So I absolutely, R.I.P. Liliana. Okay. Moving on, we really don't care about Tatiana, because she was the one that, snatched up Liliana, but she was also trying to take out Tommy, but Tommy got her first. He had to cancel Christmas on her. So in actuality, I should have put Christmas has been canceled on this individual, but Tatiana, she was a part of the Serbians. She was down with Merkovich. And so she had to go. She had to go. He was gonna spare her, but she was just doing too much. So at the end of the day, she had to get up out of there. Then we got Seamus, Detective Seamus. Okay. We got Detective Seamus, and at the end of the day, Detective Seamus, what you're not gonna do is try to threaten Diamond and act like all is forgotten. Okay, so he gets taken out by D-Mac, because D-Mac thought that he was basically threatening his uncle. He thought he was threatening Uncle Tommy. And so D-Mac was like, okay, well, you up out of there. And this started a big spiraling effect of Tommy trying to hide D-Mac and make sure he was out of the picture until they can get the body out the way. And they had sent D-Mac over to this one school that he ended up making his way back to. And so Seamus, you got what you got. He was shaking down Diamond for that 25,000. 1 minute it'll be 25, next minute it's 100. He just kept shaking Diamond down because the other police officer or the other detective found out that he was dirty. But he also blamed Diamond for his sister for getting high back in the day and causing her to be in a wheelchair bound. So now guess what? You gone, Seamus, and who gonna take care of your sister now? So Christmas was canceled for sure on Seamus. So R.I.P. No R.I.P. to Seamus. Seamus Bennigan. What black man y'all know with that name? He got to be from London or somewhere, because why? But anyway, listen, she got taken out by a y'all girl Claudia. She ends up getting taken out by with an ice pick. She was getting ready to take Black Dahlia, or she was getting ready to take the Dahlia over to somewhere else. And Claudia wasn't having it. So Claudia took her out of there. She was the one that introduced Claudia to the Dahlia. She was the one that introduced Claudia to Dr. Williams. Like, she did everything. And she was ready to go, but Claudia wasn't trying to have it. So she had to go. So R.I.P. R.I.P. my. And speaking of Dr. Williams, y'all, listen, Dr. Williams had went over there. She had worked with Tommy. She had worked with Liliana, and they were literally about to let her go. Then she ends up getting snatched up by Claudia. And unfortunately, because somebody cloned, which was somebody released the recipe to Dahlia online. And so Claudia thought that Dr. Williams was the one that actually did it, but in actuality, she was saying I had nothing to do with that. And so she ends up getting up out of there. Yeah, Tamika, she was one of let's see, I think she was one of the first that Claudia actually took out. I believe she was one of the first people that Claudia took out, because Claudia ends up calling Tommy to help her move the body. So she was either the first or the second that Claudia ended up taking out. So yeah, R.I.P. Dr. Laura. I've been hating. That Dr. Williams was the main reason why I hated Claudia, because she treated Dr. Williams like she was a slave. Like, she told her she wasn't going anywhere, basically held her hostage. So that's why I hated Claudia. That's the main reason right there why I hated Claudia's ass. Now, shout out to Chewy. You got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it took you out, little buddy. They took you out. Like, you flipped, then you didn't want to flip. It was just so much going on between CBI and I got a trivia question for anybody that's checking in, tapping in. Let me know. Do y'all remember the name of the organization that Jenard was creating? That it was CBI, and then it was the organization that Jenard was trying to create. And let me know if y'all remember. If y'all don't, I'll give y'all a little time, and then at the end I will answer the question if I don't see the answer in the chat. But yeah, Chewy was up out of there. Elijah, shout out to Jeremiah, who portrayed Elijah for a whole season. He ended up getting taken out in one of the wars, in one of the CBI coalition. He got taken out. And it was sad. They actually had a funeral. Diamond ends up giving his mother money for him. So dang, Elijah was one of Jenard's writers too. Like, whatever Jenard pretty much said, he did it. So he was a loyalist to Jenard. All right, then we got Kendra. Man, listen, Diamond, now you want to talk about Claudia doing people dirty? Diamond did Kendra dirty because she didn't want to switch and start selling fentanyl in the jail cells or in the prisons. He decided that he was going to take her out. After, it was like that he first of all, he had a relationship with her. She was a CEO that he and they had a whole sexual relationship, okay? They were in it. They was kicking it. And she probably was that guard in prison that was willing to compromise her job for some Diamond, okay? At the end of the day, Diamond is the one that ends up taking her out because, like I said, she didn't want to sell fentanyl and she refused to sell fentanyl. She said she running to Brownsville and there was nothing he was going to be able to do about it. She wasn't going to do it, so he ended up taking her out. Dang, R.I.P. Kendra. But this what happened when you know good and darn well you a whole CEO. You ain't got no business getting yourself compromised. Like you got what you got. I'm just saying. But R.I.P. for real to Kendra. Then we got Leon, man. Rest in peace, little Leon. Leon was a whole activist out there in them streets. He was, talking about gun violence. Matter of fact, he was out there speaking about the little girl who had gotten popped by Jannard and his musty friends. During one of their little shootouts one night, trying to get Tommy, but they ended up shooting the little girl. So Leon just so happened to he was a little advocate at his young age. He was an advocate trying to encourage people to stop with the gun violence. And Diamond ended up dating his mama. And so after all the stuff that went down with Diamond, unfortunately Leon ended up passing away due to gun violence because behind Diamond. And so, she broke up, his mama broke up with him. Gianna broke up with him for a little while. Then she tried to come back. We see in season 3 that she tried to come back, but Diamond was like, no, stay. I'm not what you basically, I'm not a good person. Like, you don't need to be around me. And so I do like the fact that I guess I'm gonna call it rejected her, but he told her, listen, I'm not good for you. So, you probably want to move on. And I'm glad she heeded to his advice because Diamond he was in some stuff, y'all. Shout out to Uncle Paulie. Uncle Paulie had to go, but he went out fighting like a G. He went out fighting side by side. Walter Flynn. At first Walter had kicked him out of the organization with the Irish, but then he came back because he went and talked to Doyle and said, hey, here's some money for Walter until we can, get things back flowing. And Walter didn't like that. It's like, how dare you go and talk to Doyle about, me and my money and all these other things, and you just out of pocket. And so he literally kicked him out of the Flynn organization. But then they had a conversation. He came and he apologized, even though he was helping Walter's old silly behind, but he came and apologized. And then at that dinner was supposed to be a hit from the Four Horsemen to take out Walter Flynn, which was orchestrated by Victor and Claudia. However, that hit was also set up for Vic. And so Vic didn't know that he was supposed to get up out of there. Like, he didn't know. He thought at 9:00, that's when the shootout or the hit was going to happen. Claudia was being dirty, playing all sides. And so anyway, that's how Polly ended up passing away during that whole hit. Which was really only it was actually meant for Victor and Walter, because Claudia, she was trying to take over the whole organization. Then of course we got Walter Flynn, who has done his share of dirt, but his own sister popped him and took him out, canceled Christmas on him. So people say a lot about Victor Flynn, but Victor, he got some cojones. I'm just saying, he took his own daddy out. I'm just saying, he took his own daddy out. So you can't take that away from Vic. Hey, that's Cheryl Thomas. Yeah, you can't take that away from Vic. You can't take that, even though he's moving. I don't know if he's moving when it comes to Tommy. I think he's moving out of fear because Tommy has literally threatened him so many times. He literally has his life in his hands. But I think that, he still did what he had to do. He took his daddy out. He's taken a couple of people out. People don't give Victor, Vic Flynn, they don't give him enough credit, but he's done his damage. And we see in one of the scenes that he's supposed to end up back. I hope he doesn't make his way back into Chicago. I hope he get out them Chicago streets, but it's looking like he's gonna come back. So we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. Lil K, Lil K, Lil K, Lil K got into some mess. Wanted to flip CBI, wanted to flip from CBI, from treason to CBI, and then he was taken out. And since nobody answered the question about what was the name of the organization that Jenard had created, it was called treason. I literally just said it. It was called treason. And so he flipped treason. He flipped treason and went back over and was trying to go back over to CBI, but Jenard wasn't having it. So they end up taking out Lil K. He almost took him out in front of his grandmama, but his grandmama came up to Jenard and was like, "Here goes some cookies, and if I catch you messing with my if I catch you, taking out my son or taking out my grandson, I don't have a problem with, with letting the popo know. They some suckers, but they deserve some acknowledgement, Jay. Now I ain't get it is what it is. They deserve some acknowledgement. That's just what it is. But and that was Lil K. So unfortunately, Jenard had to take out Lil K. Plus, Tommy was on Jenard's neck about taking out Lil K. So if he didn't take out Lil K, basically, Jenard, basically Tommy was gonna take out Lil K. So then we got the P.O. Reeves, like he deserved to go because he just was harassing Diamond. He just kept messing with Diamond, every little thing. But then he got Diamond to be like this community activist. And so Diamond was having one of them nights after Leon had passed away. And after Leon had passed away, and then he sent them, he was Diamond was on that bottle, he was on that liquor, and Reeves came in there. He came in there and it was out. He was out. He took him out of there. He was like, bruh, you messing with me. Not everybody on this list was a sucker either, Jay. You just missed it. But yeah, definitely Claudia. I hated Claudia ever since she took out Dr. Williams. Like I said from the beginning, I couldn't stand her from the beginning when she did that to Dr. Williams, held her hostage, kept her like a slave. But with that being said, Claudia got took up out of here by Tommy because she had taken out Liliana. So Tommy kept saying, kept asking who did it. She kept lying about it. So finally, when he found out that she was the one that unalived her, hey there, all I see for me. Hey there, hope your day is going well. But when he found out that she was the one that took out Liliana, he also put a hit out on her in prison, or a couple of people put hits out on her in prison, but that hit didn't work. She survived. She got out. She thought she was that chick when she got out of prison, and she ends up saying she made a deal with DA Marks, basically that she was gonna go unalive Claudia, and unalive Tommy, and that was gonna solve her problem and DA Marks' problem. But because Tommy was on his P's and Q's, Claudia ends up getting taken out of here by Tommy. She got one to the dome and one to the neck and one to the leg. Like he literally he got that ass, and I was happy. I was happy that he took her out. Yeah, I've been hating Claudia. Then Merkovich got took up out of there. He was in jail. He got taken out in jail by the Ortega cartel. They gave him a piece. It was literally a piece of paper that had fentanyl on it, and he had that. He took one whiff of that fentanyl, and he was up out of there. And hey, he had to go. He had to go. He had to go. By Merkovich. Like Merkovich, we've been dealing with Merkovich for a long time. So, it was time for him to go. Then Mad Dog, King Kilo's nephew. Of course, this was that hit that D-Mac did that also created a whole bunch of other problems. And this man had to go. D-Mac took him out, but like I said, it caused a whole lot of other problems. D-Mac thought he was doing something to get in good with CBI, but it wasn't. It was the wrong decision. It was definitely the wrong decision for him to make. So Mad Dog had to go. R.I.P. Mad Dog. You was a YN, so I'm gonna say R.I.P. to you. You can't help who your family are. Abuelita Garcia was taken out. She was taken out, and the bomb wasn't even meant for her. The bomb was not even meant for her. Like that thing was meant for Miguel, and his own man's did that to her. I'm looking for his name. I had the name over here. He's gonna be on the next slide though. But his own people took out because he was working with Merkovich. He was working with the wrong crew and ended up taking Abuelita out. Now, even though Abuelita didn't care for Tommy, I still love Abuelita. She was a grandma. She was who she was supposed to be. So, unfortunately, she had to go. This was the one right here. Raphael was the one that basically was the one that put the bomb on Abuelita, which actually the car was Miguel's, but Miguel gave the car to Abuelita to go and do what she was going to go do. And so he ends up taking her out. Y'all. It was sad. I was like, dang, not Abuelita. So that was the one funeral that we did see. That was the one funeral that we did see in what was that, season 2? I think it was season 2 that we saw Abuelita. Now a lot of y'all gonna be pissed off, but I gotta say rest in peace to Marshall. You still was a YN, as they call y'all. You you betrayed, I'll say that. You betrayed D-Mac, but y'all have been beefing back and forth since we met y'all. Like he hit you upside the head with a bottle, but this time, and you pulled the gun on him. He didn't do anything to you that time, but then the second time around, you did it, and you didn't tell him where Jannard was, so he had to take you out. So Marshall Cranen, rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace, Marshall Cranen. Yeah, rest in peace, Marshall. And listen, I got a question for y'all. Dr. Parker's office, aka Gloria's restaurant. If y'all can remember, drop it in the chat. Do y'all know what happened after Gloria passed away? What they changed her restaurant into? If you know, drop it in the chat and let me know. I just want to see if anybody remembers what they changed her restaurant to. In the meantime, we got to say rest in peace to Simon. Simon, that was Vic's boy. He was going to war with him. He was going to war with Vic and Tommy, the whole little coalition. He was going to be a part of it, but he ended up getting taken out during that whole little war that they had going on. I only got a few more to go. Shout out to Willie. Willie was in the wheelchair, minding his business, hanging out with CBI. He was Smurf's friend, and Willie just, he got up out of there. Absolutely, Jay. It was a strip club. Absolutely. Walter Flynn was dirty for changing her spot into a damn strip club. And on top of that, they took her picture down. They could have at least, if they was gonna do it and turn it into a strip club, they could have at least left the picture up there. But that's how disrespectful Walter Flynn was towards Gloria. He always he hated her because of the fact that she was a black woman or a woman of color. Yeah, Wheelie. Yeah, but why you outside, Wheelie? And then nobody even tried to move Willie. Like nobody literally tried to move him. I know they was trying to get out the way, but nobody even cared to move him out the way. So yeah, rest in peace to Willie. JoJo taken out by your own boy Jannard on that he had a whole hot shot Fentanyl. Fentanyl. Let me see what Candy over here talking about. They serve oxtails. That's all I remember. I think that's the meal she cooked for Tommy. She served him, hey Candy, she served him pepper pot stew. She actually served him pepper pot stew. It's something with tripe in it. I don't really care for tripe. Tripe is like chitlins, but like it's a different texture. I don't even know. I've had it from a Dominican restaurant before, but it wasn't that hot for me. I didn't care for it. It kind of made me want to it made me nauseated. I'll say that. So, but it was called pepper pot stew. And they changed it into a strip club. Jay had the answer. They turned it into a strip club. JoJo got taken out by fentanyl, given to him by his boy Jaynard, Junkie Jaynard. And the reason why he gave him the fentanyl, it was a trade for that necklace. It was a trade for that necklace that he had stolen from the chick on the motorcycle. I forgot her name. And it's gonna come to me after I'm finished. I bet you. But yeah, so he took him out with a hot pill. Literally took him about 30, not even a whole 30 seconds to be up out of there. Y'all, we gotta say goodbye to JP Gibbs. Meet me at the crossroad. Anyway, rest in peace, JP. Rest in peace, JP. We're gonna have JP's funeral on the Friday when we do when we have Power Book Force. That's gonna be a part of the episode. That's gonna be a part of the episode. She say pepper pot stew. How I come up with oxtail? I don't know, but it's because it's like islandy. It's like either Jamaican or it's like in that area in that region. So that's how you came up with it. But yeah, excuse me, y'all. Rest in peace, JP. Rest well, JP. JP went out like a G. This man had done threatened his son. He had already popped him one time. He had already popped D-Mac one time, but then he he was trying to kill him again. He was really trying to take him out again. And so for once, not for once, but finally JP, stepped up and stood up for his son and went over there, beat the brakes off of Jannard. And then of course Jannard brings King Kilo as well as JoJo, who was useless, to JP's house. And because JP called out Jannard's name and said that you just mad because I whooped your behind, he ends up taking him out. So rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace. Candy says she making a six cheese macaroni for the repast. I'm with that. And I would eat every last bit of it. I would eat every last bit of it. I'm bringing some lemon. Nah, I'm gonna bring let's see. I'm gonna get the fried chicken. Y'all know how we go to these restaurants and buy a big old thing of fried chicken. I'm bringing the fried chicken. I'm bringing the fried chicken and potato salad with no raisins because I got a feeling somebody's gonna put raisins in the potato salad. Jay, would you bring it to the cookout? I mean, would you bring it to the repast? You said I know you said some kind of I thought I heard you say some food somewhere, but let me know what you bring it to the cookout. I mean to the cookout, to the repast. Repasts end up being like cookouts and fish fries. When did we start just doing fish fries? I'm just interested in one. I'm just wondering. But we're supposed to be live. Candy, I don't know if EJ sent y'all the link yet, but we're supposed to do the watch party. And then we're doing a watch party, and then we're gonna go live. We're gonna talk about it like right during the watch party. Thank you, Cheryl Thomas. Cheryl Thomas says she picking up supplies. Thank you, because we're gonna need it. Because Jay talking about he ain't bringing nothing but aluminum foil and some empty plates, bruh. You can at least bring the sodas, even if it's the store brand sodas. You can at least bring the sodas now. Come on. But yeah, y'all, rest in peace, JP. I think I got like 2 more, and then we're gonna be up out of here, y'all, because your girl got so much other stuff to do. Diamond, listen, I'm kind of low key. I don't know how to feel about Diamond. He was clueless. Like your own brother tried to take you out, and yet you still spared him. Like you sacrificed yourself for a brother that really didn't give a damn about you. Like your brother would even at that moment, he, was trying to take you out. He was trying to take you out. Well, Jay, we gonna let you sit on the outside of the repast if you bringing nothing but your appetite. This is a potluck. We need some we need some food. We need some. Even if you bring a fruit tray, a fruit tray, bruh, that costs just as much as the aluminum foil in the empty place. It could be a small fruit tray. Oh man, but yeah, Diamond. I don't really know how to feel. How y'all feel? And then he say he bringing his appetite. I got you. But I don't really know how to feel about Diamond. Like I hate that, in the beginning, Diamond was good until Leon passed away. When Leon passed away, he started all that drinking and just started making a whole bunch of bad decisions, y'all. So I kind of hate it. I really, really not kind of, but I hate it. I hate that he turned out, the way that he did. So, well, rest in peace. He sacrificed himself for his brother. He did what he thought he was supposed to do. There was also a moment where he was talking to his daddy, and his daddy told him he wasn't nothing, like just insulting Diamond. And Diamond was like, because you were absent, I had to handle my business. I had to raise my brother the best way that I could until I ended up getting locked up from trying to survive. You weren't doing shit. Excuse me. You weren't doing nothing. You wasn't care for us, so I had to do what I had to do. And then literally a episode later, his daddy was gone, but his daddy, he told Jannard, that your daddy said he loved you, and he was proud of you. And so, even though he made Diamond feel like garbage, he still, made Jannard feel, good at that moment, even though Jannard was like an ultimate, like he was worse than, it's like Cain and Abel. That was him. Cain and Abel. So lastly, y'all, I gotta say RIP to my personal favorite. I know a lot of y'all don't like DA, U.S. Attorney Stacey Marks, but I like Stacey Marks. I like the justice. Some of them. She was just doing her job, y'all. She was just doing her job. That's all I can say. Unfortunately, she was sent up out of there. Christmas was canceled on her by Tommy. Tommy took her up out of there, man. And she tried to pull, girl, you're not a shooter. Like, what are you doing? You're an attorney. You don't use weapons, okay? So, she had to go too. But, RIP, RIP, Stacey, RIP. With that being said, y'all, that was pretty much it. I just wanted to come in and, just bring you guys my little memorial service. These are literally people we have lost from season 1 all the way to season 3. If you're coming in late watching this, make sure you hit the replay button and just watch it from the beginning. I gave you guys about 29, 30 people that I wanted to say a RIP to. Now, I don't know who we're going to get on this 10th episode. If we're going to have to RIP some people, I hope I hope for sure that Jannard is one of those people that get Christmas canceled on them. But for some reason in my gut, I feel like he's gonna be the last man standing in this whole showdown. Dang, Mark should have taken the money and left. Literally, she had $500,000, Candy. I would have took that money and they just would have had to come looking for me. I would have abandoned that whole U.S. attorney job. They would have just had to come find me. $500,000 was enough money for her to go to one of them countries that she can't get expedited on. She could build her own little house and whatever she need in one of those little countries and be up out of there. Wouldn't have to deal with, she wouldn't have to deal with Tommy anymore. Wouldn't have to deal with, she didn't want a husband no more, so she wouldn't have had to deal with him, with Bobby. So yeah, I hate it for Marks, man. She was up. They took her up out of there. Tommy took up out of there. Um, but with that being said, I just want to play this trailer really quick. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, and then we're gonna be up out of this thing because your girl got other stuff to do. But I appreciate y'all for sure for coming through, hanging out with me. Had I had enough time, I would have had a panel, but I just didn't have enough time to really plan it out the way that I wanted to. But thank y'all for sure for coming in and checking on your girl. And I'm gonna play this little clip and I'll be right back.
After he takes everything.
I've got to pick a side and pick it right now.
But you're not gonna stop till he takes everything.
I believe you can win this war.
I want justice for my wife's murder. Let's take Tommy fucking Egan down.
All right, let's go.
They're closing in.
Am I calling a favor?
I'm over here just muted and running my mouth, y'all. But everybody's predicting. Tommy say he gonna have to call in a favor. Is it gonna be Tariq? Is it somebody we don't know? Is Miriam? I mean, is Kate gonna call somebody? What about the people he was supposed to meet in California? Like, is he gonna reach out to those people in California for some help? It's crazy. I'm just so excited and looking forward to this last episode. Even though I do not want it to come to an end, I'm definitely still looking forward to all of the things that happen, that go down on Power Book 4 Force. Man, it's the end. Like, it's literally the end. And it's the end and it's a beginning. Word on the street is they're doing Power Book Legacy, which is supposed to include Tommy, Tariq, possibly Ghost. I haven't seen it in writing, so I'm just gonna stand by and wait and see. We're definitely getting like a Power Book Origins type situation with the young Tommy and the young Ghost, and the young Kanan. So I'm looking forward to that, coming out. I'm definitely looking forward to that coming out. Yeah, rest in peace to Force, literally. Rest in peace to Force. Rest in peace to Force, Candy. Rest in peace to Force. I hate that for me, I liked it. I watched it from season 1. I knew it was gonna be a slow burn, something that you have to get used to the characters and all of that stuff, and then the storyline. And so, I guess all decent. For me, it was good. All good things must come to an end. But with that being said, all good things must come to an end. I'm gonna play this little video. Hopefully it'll play all the way through for y'all, and then I'm gonna be up out of here. Thank y'all so much for coming through, tapping in, tuning in, kicking it with your girl Tika right here at All Things Ruthless. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Tap the notification bell at least 3 times so you can receive all Ruthless content, okay? Notifications of our Ruthless content. And with also make sure, thank you for my the crew that stopped in and kicked it with your girl for a little bit. Shout out to my girl Candy Love. Shout out to Tamika's Den. Vade KJ and his paper plates and aluminum foils. Thank you for coming through. Shout out to Miss Cheryl Thomas for picking up some pies. Thank you for coming through. And I know I saw 1 or 2 other people up in here, but thank y'all all for coming through. Absolutely appreciate it all. And all I see for me. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming through as well. And shout out to all the members on the channel, okay? Shout out to all of the members on the channel. I absolutely appreciate you guys. You don't have to do it, but you did. So I absolutely appreciate it. With that being said, we're about to be about this thing. Y'all have a great and amazing rest of your week. And we will see you guys on Thursday night and then Thursday Thursday midnight Eastern time, and then Friday evening at 9:15 p.m. So Candace, I'm a running back. I know you shouted on I did a little bop, not too much. No. Anyway, y'all. With that being said, I'm out. Have an amazing one. See y'all soon.
In a forced world, some had Christmas canceled. Yeah, we remember. Tougher than Teflon, all that issue stepped on. Money, spec whole city on a thin line. Names on the block, the names on the chalk line. Thinking they gone, but they still in your mind. Streets ain't stone sinners, cold dinners, cold winters. Silence in the pack room when the real one falls. Replay the scene, you can hear those calls. Still feel that smoke, still see those walls. Christmas canceled, tree lights out. Heart on freeze, every loss we handle. Turn to legend in the streets, all things ruthless. We rewind what you can't forget. We can hear the talk that true. Yeah, 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 yeah. We can hear the talk that true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember that look right before the plan flip. Handshake, half smile, then the whole script rip. Gunfire echoes, but it's the quiet that hits. Empty chair at the table where a real one used to sit. Car door slam, engines hum, whole crew tense. Who gon' run? Some stay loyal, some turn quick, some names burn slow like the end of the stick. Faces in the ash, you can't scrub that big. Christmas canceled, tree lights out. Heart on freeze, every loss we handle. Turn a legend in the streets, all things ruthless. We rewind what you can't forget. You can hear the talk that true. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can hear the talk that true. Yeah, 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 yeah. Turn the volume up, let the ghosts walk through. Scene by scene, like they back in a room. Laughs, lies, and no last breath. We don't just watch, we carry what's left. You can hear the talk that true, true, true. You can hear the talk that true.